Hello people, John here. A year ago, I have discussed of why James Bond shouldn't be a female. And now, Daniel Craig also expressed his opinions on why the famed super spy shouldn't be a woman. The James Bond character has been around for almost 60 years since the very first movie, Dr. No, which starred the late Sean Connery. Sean Connery was the James Bond that most of our parents and grandparents grew up watching. Some grew up watching Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton. Me? I grew up watching Pierce Brosnan movies, starting with GoldenEye, which is my most favorite, and that movie spawned a video game on Nintendo 64, which was the best game of 1997 when I was 11. So much better than Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, you name it, folks. Way better than playing online, playing that game with friends and family. Whew! Fun times, bro. Okay. Daniel Craig's James Bond started when I entered college, and I enjoyed all of his movies ever since. I remember 5 years ago when people talked about making James Bond into a female, and a lot of people, including myself, were 100% against this decision. Why? Because instead of changing originally established characters just because we need more diversity is just pure laziness. Barbara Broccoli also said the same thing last year, that James Bond can be a man of color but never a female, because she believes that women are far more interesting than that. Speaking of James Bond being a man of color, a lot of people thought that Idris Elba should succeed Mr. Craig, and so did I. Other men of color who could be perfect for the role are David Oyelowo, Daniel Kaluuya, and also Chiwetel Ejiofor. So why does Daniel Craig think that the James Bond character shouldn't be a woman? In an interview with Radio Times, when asked whether he supported a more diverse version of Bond, Craig offered his view. Craig explained why he doesn't see the need for a woman to play the iconic character, when filmmakers should be creating new and different female roles that are just as interesting. The actor argued that there should simply be better parts available to both women and actors of color. So this is what Craig had to say. The answer to that is very simple. There should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. Why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond but for a woman? Isn't that just great what he said? You see, lots of people will say that he has a good point of what he just said. Others will take it out of context and say, oh my god, he's mansplaining. Oh, shut up. Because women and people of color are far more interesting than that, and brand new characters need to be created, work them in, win us over, and naturally be introduced as a new generation. Now, the number of 007 is James Bond's designation number that should be passed on to a new generation without turning him into a woman, gender bending. I was never a fan of gender bending and race bending originally established characters. Why? Because I believe that women and people of color should get brand new characters instead of being shoehorned into already established ones. Unfortunately, when you make a statement like this, so many people will take that so out of context that they'll try to label you either a racist or a sexist, and that is so stupid. And SJWs tend to do that all the time. No doubt about that. So, No Time to Die is coming soon after so many delays due to the COVID-19 outbreak last year, and I hope that this movie turns out to be as awesome as Spectre. So remember, people, don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. I'm John of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. Peace.